Hey guys, Mercy here. Welcome to my kitchen. In today's video, we are going to be learning how to make the perfect Nigerian chicken stew. This stew tasted so good. After preparing your stew this way, you wouldn't want to make it any other way. You don't want to miss out on this recipe, so subscribe to this channel, sit tight, and let's get started. So for the stew base, I'm using 1.5 bulb of onion, ginger, garlic, chili pepper, Scotch bonnet pepper, and tomato. When making a Nigerian chicken stew, your stew base matters a lot because it determines how your stew is going to turn out, how it's going to look, and how it's going to taste. So it's very important that you pay attention to these details because it's really going to help. And by the way, chili pepper is popularly known as shombo here in Nigeria. So I am adding the chili pepper, the Scotch bonnet pepper, the ginger, and the garlic, the onion first because I want it to blend really well. So once I'm done adding it, I'm going to cut my tomato into half and then put it directly into the blender. If you don't want the seed, you can as well take out the seed from the tomato, but I don't mind, so I'm going to blend mine like that. So I cut out the part that is not good in the tomatoes, added a little bit of water to help blend it very smooth, and then I started to blend. If you like your tomato roughly blended, you can do that as well, but I like mine close to smooth for this recipe. So you can see how it looks like. It is very colorful and it's going to come out really well too. So for the next batch, I didn't add any chili pepper. I just cut the tomato into half and placed it into the blender. You're going to see the difference in this second one from the first blend. So I added a little bit of water. Mind you, just a little bit of water. I don't want the water to be too much because tomato already has lots of water. So I'm going to blend this to my desired texture or consistency. Now you can see the difference from this one. When I added it to the pot, it wasn't that colorful like the one that had the chili pepper in it. One thing that the chili pepper or shombo does to your stew is that it makes your stew very colorful. I transferred all the mixture into the pot and allowed it to start cooking so that the water in it will dry up just a little. So for the chicken, I'm using whole chicken. You can use any part of the chicken that you prefer, and I seasoned with some onion, some pepper, blended pepper, and then I added some dried curry powder. If you have fresh curry leaves, you can add it as well. I added some dried thyme, and also because this is chicken stew, I'm going to be adding some chicken seasoning to it. I added some rosemary spice, salt, and then some seasoning cube. Once I'm done adding that, I'm going to give it a very good mix. When making your stew, your chicken stock matters a lot because when your chicken stock is tasty, your stew also is tasty. So I just stirred it a little so that the seasoning can go down to the other meat underneath the pot. I covered and allowed it to start cooking without adding any water. After 20 minutes, this is what we have. The chicken has already released some of its juice. I'm just going to give it a very quick and gentle stir to combine, and then I added 2 cups of water to it. You don't want to add too much water because when you add too much water, the stock loses its taste and it's not good at all. So I'm going to just stir this and I'll cover and allow it to cook until it's very soft. So back to the pot where I was cooking the stew base. This is what we have. The water has dried up, not completely, but I am okay with this. I'm going to transfer to a strainer and allow water to drain. Now if you want the water to dry completely, you can do that as well, but remember to always cook on low to medium heat so that the stew base does not burn, because when it burns you wouldn't like it. Now you can see the color is really popping and beautiful. This is telling you already what your stew will look like. So I'm going to leave this and allow water to drain on its own. Back to the chicken. This is after 30 minutes of cooking. My chicken is completely cooked. It's well cooked just the way I want it. I'm just going to stir this and take it off the heat. In another pot, I'm going to be adding some vegetable oil because I'll be frying the chicken. If you don't want to fry your chicken, you can grill it, you can air fry it, or leave it as is. I'm going to throw the chicken into the oil and allow it to start frying. After some minutes of frying, I'll also flip it so that the other side can fry as well. Once it turns golden brown, I'm going to take it off the heat. You don't want that chicken to burn at all because you're not going to enjoy it. I'll take it off the heat and fry the next batch. If this is your first time on this channel, you are welcome. Let me know where you're watching from so I can send you a virtual hug in my next video. And also let me use this time to request of you to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done that yet. Subscribe to this channel, like this video, leave a comment and share. It means a lot to me. And to my returning subscribers, thank you for always coming back. So now we are ready to make the stew. We have our stew base, we have some tomato paste, we have rosemary spice. In this plate I have some dried oregano, chicken seasoning, thyme and curry powder. I have some ginger and garlic paste and some chopped onion as well. To prepare this stew, I'm using the oil I used to fry the chicken to make the stew. So if you don't want it, you can skip it. But I like it because of the flavor that it carries already. So I'm just going to add some vegetable oil again because this stew is going to be much. It's going to be plenty. I added the ginger and garlic paste and I'm going to go in with the chopped onions. I'll saute this and allow it to fry for 3 to 5 minutes so it releases its flavor into the oil. After 5 minutes, I'll go in with the tomato paste. I'm using 3 medium tin of tomato paste, so you can see the tomato is going to be much. So I'm going to stir this very well and allow it to fry for about 5 to 7 minutes. After 7 minutes of frying, I'll go in with the pepper mix, the tomato and pepper mixture. Do not worry about the oil. The oil is not too much. A minute from now you will understand why I said that. So I'm going to stir this very well, and once it's properly mixed, I'll go in with all of the seasoning. Like I said before, what is in this plate is oregano, chicken seasoning, thyme and curry powder. I also added some rosemary spice. Now I added some salt and seasoning cube. You can add any seasoning of preference at this point, but this one is okay for me. I don't want too much seasoning in this stew, so I'm going to stir everything. After adding the seasoning, I will stir everything to combine, and once it's properly combined, I will fry it on a very low to medium heat. Once oil begins to float on it like this, then you know that you are okay with the frying. You can see from what I told you earlier, the oil is not too much. Everything is properly, is just okay. And I'll go in with the fried chicken. Once I add that to the pot, I'll go in with the chicken stock. Some people do sieve their stock, but I don't see any need for that. You can see that base. This is what you need for your stew. So I'm going to give this a very good stir. So you can see that the stew is thick. I don't want the stew to be this thick, so I'm going to add some water to loosen it up. Not too much, but not too little. So once I added that, I'm going to give it a very good stir. After stirring properly, you are going to taste at this point. Adjust seasoning if need be. If it's very okay, then you can go ahead and cover. Allow it to come to a boil. Let it boil for like 5 to 7 minutes. And then I opened the pot, gave it a very good stir, and that is it, guys. Our perfect Nigerian chicken stew is ready. You can pair this with a plate of rice, boiled plantain, boiled yam, potato. Do not forget to like this video, leave a comment, share, and also subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much for watching. See you in my next one. Bye.